A new book, a new adventure. Here we go again, book friends, as we explore the Temple of the Winds. Welcome back to the Sword of Truth podcast, the alcohol-fueled, chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with Craft Brew on the side. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade, and on this episode, we are cracking the cover of Temple of the Wind.
That's right, we are ready.
Nate seems like he's had like 6 Red Bulls, and he's like ready
I am.
to lead our group on a tour of a very dangerous cave or some shit. Yeah. And I'm just over here like, okay, man, let's go, because he is the one like leading this.
It's because of Patreon, right? In this one, you're just solely doing funny commentary and accents, I believe.
I didn't promise accents.
Well,
but
I think you could try one.
But essentially, since I have been so busy, Nate's been doing most of the legwork on a lot of these episodes. So I'm just here. I'm just experiencing this shit. So
That's right.
Great.
So let me take you all on an adventure. There was an extra syllable in that word. An adventure on the Temple of the Wind's front cover. We're doing it, man.
Wait though. This is kind of like an added adventure because it's like the extra episode at the beginning of the book, right?
That's right.
And everything we do is kind of an added adventure to the book because the book was great on its own, right? But we're making it like way better. So
Agree.
So like everything we do is basically an added adventure.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. The whole misstep with the word and everything, it was all planned. You guys didn't even know it. That's just how professional we are.
Yeah.
I'm
Segways.
amazed. All right. So, do you have a picture of the first style of the covers?
Because we're talking about the covers.
That's
in this
right.
one.
We are. And actually, if you're looking at the front cover of Temple of the Winds, there are 3 of them. Now, the first one, the one that's like the most popular, it's the one they use on Audible. You see a lot of books with this art on it. It's by Keith Parkinson, right? And it features Richard and Kara. I'm guessing, maybe. It's a Mordsith, blonde hair. I mean,
if you've read the books, you know who it is. If you haven't, you just know it's a blonde Mordsith.
Yeah. Or you might not even know it's a Mordsith. Blonde lady, tight red leather. I think a lot of people would be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna read at least part of this book.
Yeah, I'm in. Okay. Also, Richard is like on there too, and he looks a little different than how we remember him.
That's right. He's got some fancy clothes. He's wearing all black, right? His arms are bare, looking tough as fuck. He's got the Viking cuffs on, golden cape.
Yeah.
Which is a bright accent to it. He's got a sword out. He's looking super, super intense.
Yeah.
Definitely not his woods guide attire.
Right. They are both looking intense. Richard is looking like off into the distance, and the Mordsith is staring at him very intensely, like she's maybe gonna rip his face off or something's going on. There's definitely something happening.
If a guy dressed like that was your woods guide, he would bring you to the edge of the woods and just point in the direction of the city you had to go to, and then kick every tree's ass all the way there, so you wouldn't even have to necessarily need a guide.
See, I definitely think, though, if your woods guide had a gold cape, it would raise questions. I would have a lot of questions.
You're known for blending in with your surroundings, huh? What's with the gold cape?
What are you doing out here in those woods that allowed you to afford a gold cape?
There are also 2 gargoyles.
Yeah.
Standing on either side of the entrance, and that only reminded me of the fucking Ghostbusters movie.
We just watched all of them.
It's
so
the Keymaster and the Gatekeeper. They're there.
But
Some
also
shit's gonna go down, and you know who's on top of that tower? Gozer.
Yeah. See, but the interesting thing is that they also don't have wings, just like those, like in the Ghostbusters movie.
That's right.
Like they're just like big dogs.
They're kind of like heart hounds.
Yeah, with horns.
With horns.
Yeah.
Much fucking scarier version.
And then, like, up above there's some, like, bat-looking things and little tiny like statues of people that you can't really see because
Yeah,
most
can't
of the
really make
imagery,
them out.
oh, most of the images I tried to look up for these, you can't zoom in enough. Keith Parkinson, he sells most of his art on his website, so you can zoom in and get a really good image. This one is not on there, so it was harder than I thought to find like a really good copy that I could like zoom into. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all like pixelated and bullshit.
Kind of like the one we see right now.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, we can't really tell what the figures are. I'm assuming because it looks so tall that they're actually quite large, like probably man-sized. But yeah, you can't really see them.
There's a lot of we look to be very high. It's very misty,
Foggy.
like cloudy.
Oh, that's
or
because Gozer's up
foggy.
there.
Yeah, I guess so. That's what it is. That's what it all is.
Now we just have to find a character that represents a giant marshmallow man, and we are on our way.
Okay, see, so, okay, about this, though, the facts that we know, this is not the keep, unless it's a door that we've never seen.
Right.
This is a new building, and that's about it.
I mean, we assume because it's called Temple of the Winds. That's what this
It
is.
probably is. But yeah, so...
Just stepping out on a ledge here, but maybe...
It's very, I don't want to call it simple cover art, cause it's just like, compared to the other ones, there's not as many little things that you can like pick apart about it. It's just like, here they are at this
Yep.
place. But it is like very striking. I've always liked the cover art for this book.
Yeah, well, I like the way that it's kind of painted at an angle to where Richard and Kara, if it is Kara, aren't right in the center of the shot.
Yeah.
You can see out beyond. You can see that whatever building this is, it's huge and it goes for a long ways in other directions. So far to that it's like it's foggy. It's in the distance.
Yeah.
And you can literally see clouds at the top of this thing, so it's tall too.
Yeah. I do believe too that at this point Terry had like officially chosen his cover art, because I think he knew he liked Keith Parkinson's the best from the beginning. But like the past 3 books, there's been multiple covers, like official covers
Yeah.
in different series, in like different sets, book sets. This series, or like this cover, appears on like all 3 sets that are commonly sold in the United States.
Right.
Whereas for the last book, it was like 3 separate fucking book covers. So it seems like around the Temple of the Winds, Terry was like, no, fucking, these are my covers.
This is the guy who's going to do the art for me.
Yeah. No more questions. Thank you.
And I mean, a lot of it goes with Terry's kind of subscription to what art should be. It should remind you of something. It should give you a feeling. And this, not knowing what happens in Temple of the Winds, even though I totally know what happens in Temple of the Winds, it gives you a very mysterious vibe, you know? And it looks dangerous. It looks scary.
Yeah, ominous.
It intrigues you. Yeah. Plus, you know, gargoyles. So that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Up
So,
until no, it still might happen. I have plans for possible gargoyle tattoos on my back.
yeah.
I've always loved gargoyles.
Yeah, well, I mean, we grew up with that TV show that like
Oh,
made
that
us
was
all
the
obsessed
best.
with them. Yeah.
Goliath, totally my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, there was a chick one, but I think I always liked the little red one.
The little red, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
The little guy with like the attached wings,
Yeah.
the comic relief.
Yeah.
That guy was awesome.
I always like I'm just a sucker for the funny
Let me
little
guess.
guys. Yeah.
Michelangelo, favorite Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Like,
I was Raphael myself. He was my favorite.
and typically they're the fat guys because like the fat sidekick is the funny one. So like I always like the fat underdog sidekick character.
Well, that's also why you like Gus Gus.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
the little mouse.
And Rolly, who is left off of all merchandise ever for 101 Dalmatians. Let's not keep talking about it or I will rant.
Speech.
Jesus. Anyways, so the next book cover. So there's like, I think the 3rd book cover technically isn't a book cover. I think it might just be fan art. But when you search Temple of the Wind book covers, it pops up. But it's not, I don't think it's on any book. Like, okay, we'll get to that one. The second one that we're talking about is the UK version.
Yeah, you can buy books with this cover on it.
Well, yes, with the UK cover.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about the 3rd
Yes,
one.
yes.
Okay, yeah. No, this one you can buy.
Right. So it's the cover is like white. They have the grace on it. I think they have like everyone in the series in the UK version is white with the grace on it, of like with just some type of image on the front. And they seem like maybe they're stock images, if I'm going to be honest with you.
That could be. It's also color splash around the side. This one is
Yeah.
blue. I think all the other books have a different color.
I know last one was red, and it had just like the generic like soldiers running on horses on the front.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So this one looks like a building, maybe with smaller buildings kind of around it. It's kind of decrepit looking. It's on a hill.
Big scary tower. Check.
Yeah. There's like a crescent moon in the background, which okay. And
For those of you that know, that is significant.
yeah,
Even though at this point we don't know. So we're
Right.
not going to go too far into that right now, but it's
Pretty
definitely
sure.
been noticed.
I'm pretty sure. And there's like just some birds in the sky, and that's pretty much it. Kind of makes me think of like Azkaban, because like all the images of Azkaban is like a triangle tower in the middle of the sea. It just looks weird. I don't know. It's an interesting little book cover. I don't hate it. Like it wouldn't look unattractive on your shelf. It doesn't scream what happens in this book to me. at
Yeah.
all.
I do think it takes away from the mystique from the first one. The big scary temple with the gargoyles you can see. And I mean it's like a single defense tower with the blocks on the top. I forget what they're called.
Crenellation?
Yeah.
Something.
The things you can hide behind when you shoot stuff
Yeah,
off the
you
top
all
of
know.
a castle.
You all
Yeah, you know
know.
what but that's all that's on there. It doesn't seem very temple like to me, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. That's all we're going to say about that one because there's not a lot to say. I'm sorry. If you have opinions, feel free to let us know. The last thing we're going to look at is, like I said, I don't think it's an actual cover, but it seems to be based off of the covers, or I don't know. I tried to look into it a little bit. His website is a little janky. It's called JenkinsStudioArt.com. But when you Google Temple of the Winds cover art, this pops up. It does say Temple of the Winds. It says Terry Good, like inspired by Terry Goodkind on there. Don't think he got paid for it. I don't know.
I think,
There's-
like you said, this is just a fan art that he posted up there. It's supposed to be like, this is my view, or this is the way I picture the Temple of the Winds to be, and so he painted it and then sold it.
Yeah. Okay, so it's
Which I don't know if it's technically legal, but he did.
I think
It is a cool painting, though.
I think because it's not a recreation of something, you're allowed to sell it. It's like your interpretation of something, so I think you're allowed to, but I don't know. Anyways, there's a gargoyle. They're like standing up. It looks like obviously on like a stone porch. I don't know.
It's definitely a stone porch, but that gargoyle looks alive to me.
Yeah, its eyes
It
kind
might-
of looking at you, and
Yeah.
its tongue is out.
Like it might supposed to be stone, and I'm guessing it is, but just the color choice, how it doesn't necessarily match the stone underneath it,
Yeah.
makes it look like it's alive. And that Richard is standing very, very close to this thing.
Richard's also wearing like a red shirt.
Yeah.
There's gold on his cape, but it's not a gold cape. He's got a sword.
I like the cape in this one only because it's black and gold. So if he is trying to be like sneaky, he could probably flip it inside out or something like that. But his arms are supposed to be bare, and he's supposed to have like a vest cut shirt on the top. And that's not real at all. Not real. It's not presented here in this cover. And if you look closely, it almost looks, even though you can't see his legs, like he is wearing shorts.
It does. The boots are weird. And not to bash the artist in any way.
Yeah, no, the rest of it is very well done.
Yeah.
I got a kick out of the
Yeah,
thought of Richard
yeah.
walking around in the woods with shorts. Like, you already got bit by a vine once, dude. Don't tempt fate now.
But yeah, so they look like they're up high. We've kind of avoided the very obvious thing in this image, which is
The birds in the background there. I know. Weird.
There's not even birds in this picture, Nate.
No, there's not.
The women. There are 3 women who are very scantily clad, like very scantily clad.
We're
And-
covering tits and bits, and that's about it.
Yeah, 2 of them are knees on the stone, which is not comfortable, and I don't like. They look like they are not like hating it, but like they have to be, right?
I don't know. The body positions are very weird. You have the one woman who's standing very close to Richard, who looks very proud. She's got her back arched, Not necessarily in
out.
a sexy way, but yeah,
Powerful way.
she's definitely very powerful,
Yeah.
even though all women are powerful. But then you have the other two. You have the one on the knees right in front of the woman standing who looks powerful.
Yeah.
And she has the same type of like outfit on, but she doesn't have the covering that the standing woman does.
Right. She's less
She looks
important
like-
for
yeah.
sure.
That looks like servant. Plus it looks a little like, I don't know.
Like she's servicing
frayed.
her in like a
Could be.
in a way of some
This
kind.
could be right before or right after some kind of weird erotic series that we haven't heard of.
The other one's staring at her in a weird way too. Like they're both like, "Ooh, woman, fuck you, Richard." Like they're both focused on the woman.
Yeah. Nobody's paying attention to Richard. He's just up there with three almost naked women, just oblivious to
Yeah,
it.
and this woman is wearing lots of strappy stuff. She's wearing more than the other two. I don't. I remember other people show up in this book, but I don't remember women like this in the book.
I don't either, but I have a horrible memory, so that happens sometimes. But no, nor do I remember a scene where this happens.
I don't think it does. But I mean, I could see if these characters appeared, maybe trying to put them in a different scene. But it just seems like they took like he saw the cover maybe and was like, "Oh, dude with a sword, cool. I'm gonna put hot chicks with him."
Yeah, and I mean, it's not. Is that Kaylin? Is that supposed to be Kaylin?
Kaylin would not like.
She might wear something like that, but not out here. Just
Yeah.
for Richard,
Yeah.
you know?
Or like in the Mud People's village, possibly. But like that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
could
Kaylin
be.
wouldn't. She always wears her white dress and comes up with a fucking
Yeah.
excuse to.
She always gets out of it.
Well, of course, unless there's white paint around, then she might go naked.
Only if she's killing people, then she could be naked, in a way. Or dealing with dead people, we'll say
Naked?
that.
But pure
Mhm.
and murdering. That's the equation. Like she could be naked if she's also being pure and killing a man.
The thing that makes you think of Kaylin as sexy when she starts with like, ooh, and then she took off her clothes. You're like, all right. And then she brutally murdered that man. It takes it
Yeah.
all away from you. So you just associate Kaylin like as a beautiful woman, not sexy at all, not gonna look, no way. Strictly friend zone that one.
Yeah, you did an effective job being like, she'll fuck you up so you don't want to, right?
Right.
You don't want to fuck Kaylin. You want to fuck every other woman in this book because Kaylin is Richard's property.
That's right. You do not want to do that to Kaylin.
I mean, Richard's soon-to-be wife. That's
Soon to be.
definitely what.
Yeah. She does talk about that not too far into the first chapter.
What about being the wife?
About things being eaten out of hands or other things.
I don't think.
If you're me, that's how I read into it.
Yeah, of course. You did.
But all right, so this having different versions brings us to another conversation about this book before we get all the way into the chapters. Now, as many of you know, I use Audible to listen to all of these books to take notes. And Jade does too. The narrator on Audible for Temple of the Winds is a man by the name of Dick Hill. And I mean, kind of like the last narrator, he does a very good job of what he's doing. He pronounces everything. I won't say correctly, but clearly. And, he does that job well. So I'm not going to bash him for doing like a bad job at narration. That's not fair. And I don't feel like he would appreciate it. The other guy who does this, and I think also for good reason, is Nick Sullivan. You can find his narration of this story on YouTube. And if you ask me, I highly recommend you do. So, Dick Hill, the number one complaint about this audiobook, if you search on Google, if you ask your Google Home who narrated the book, it will tell you Dick Hill, but people think he did a terrible job. And that's because of his choice to pronounce the word Kaylin, as we say it, Kaylin, as Colin.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I'm sure because I know there's people who pronounce it like Colin. They're like, finally, this guy did it right. And this is the book they're going to listen to. But once I found out that Nick Sullivan had done it on YouTube, immediately I was like, okay, I'm not listening to Audible for this book because it's just so much nicer for my ears to hear. But so the debate about Kaylin, we have three that we see. And Kalen is the way we pronounce it. Like I said, he pronounces it Colin in the book. And I actually just heard one of our book friends pronounce it in a way that I hadn't heard before. But because of the spelling, I can see it that way. I'm still not going to pronounce it that way, but it's like, okay, I get it. And if you're like us, and most of you who read the books first before listening to any sort of audible narration, it's very clear that there was a wide range of pronunciations for this word. But the way she said it was Kalan, I thought.
That could be. I think
Not like Colin.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, okay, whatever your name is fine, but Colin I associate with a man.
I think it's because he's taking the first syllable there and going K-A-H. That's Ka.
Ka, yeah. And I get it. I get that. But that's why I could see Kalan being the name. It's more feminine. I get that. But Colin, no. Sorry.
If you're going
I'm
to go with Ka, yeah. He goes Colin though, and I feel like it would be more like Kalan.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Yeah. If you're gonna lean in,
That's what I'm saying.
that's how you should go.
You know, Kalen, true. That's how they say it on the TV show. But everybody knows that's no fucking standard. But so, I mean, I just pronounce it Kalen. But when I heard her say, I want to say it was Ileana, say Kalan, I was like, no, I get that. That's the other acceptable way as far as I'm concerned now, because I understand how
Well,
they see it that way. It's definitely not Colin. That's all.
It's a lot of extra work, and I also feel like what it is when you are. I don't want to say those people are doing, but I feel like what happened is that they tried to make it more exotic than what Terry was going. Like, I think Terry wanted to go for an interesting spelling, but he still wanted her to have like a generic name.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I feel like that's what's happening. Like, you hear like this magical creature magical character that she is,
Kind of both.
and you can't really be like Kaylin. Like, that wouldn't be her name because that's just such a like white girl name. Her name's not Kaylin. Her name's obviously Kalan or something. You know, just trying to like make it
Yeah.
fit with your vision of the book. And then Terry comes out and he's like, it's Kaylin, and you're like, oh
Well, fine.
yeah. So
I'm still reading it my way. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's what it was. I think Terry maybe reached a little far with his spelling. Like, and granted, it is a name some places, I think. So,
Yeah.
but I think he was trying to make it more, maybe not exotic, but more magical by spelling it that way instead of just our typical Kaylin.
A little more mysterious.
And then people took it and were like, okay, well then it's definitely not just Kaylin. And I think when I started reading the book, I felt the same way, but then I found out I was wrong.
Well, and then when you looked it up, because we had both listened to the Audible version and heard the way Dick Hill reads it, we were like, oh, that can't be right. So we take to the internet, and everybody else felt the same way.
Yeah, and
To the point where the book is known for that word being not done correctly, and people are pissed about it.
well, and
I saw petitions. It was intense.
because it's the one on Audible. It's distracting. That's why, because you're listening and then you hear it and you're like, what the fuck is that? What the hell is that? The other thing though that Nick Sullivan does. Did you mention the accents that Nick Sullivan does?
I did not yet. No. Nick Sullivan also does very, very good accents. We've been listening to the books so far, and there's a very pronounced Richard, a very pronounced Kaylin, and Kara has like a Russian accent
Yep.
and sticks with it. Which was the problem with our last narrator. There was no real changing of the voice for different people. He might
And
like
it's
say it
like
a little
Gratch.
lighter, but
He did Gratch.
he did Gratch. He did even holler once, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly, while he
Yeah.
was doing Gratch.
Towards
But
the end
that
of the
was
book, he
about the
started
extent
getting
of
into
it.
I think.
Yeah, he enjoyed it more.
So-
But Nick Sullivan does a fantastic job of being each character and really bringing them to life. And I like that because it helps me listen. It helps keep me like focused on it.
I am gonna go ahead and say, I had been like thinking, like, okay, we're talking about accents, like joking, Jade doing accents, and I had like a long running joke with one of our close friends about how he nicknamed me Natasha because I would take pictures all the time. So he was like, "Oh, you're a Russian spy," But we're gonna table that
Yeah.
for right now.
Give me an English accent.
I'll give you American. Hey.
Wow! That Midwestern accent is just amazing, Jade.
Oi, mate. Is that English enough for you? Oi, mate. You got some crumpets.
We got it!
Yeah. There you go. You know what? I can credit that to reading Harry Potter in my bedroom alone.
Oh, that is the first accent I think I've really ever heard Jade do.
Bloody ill.
Now she likes it.
No, I don't. I'm terrible at it, and I know it.
Join us for chapter 1, where Jade takes control of the notes and reads the whole thing.
I'll do Harry Potter in my stupid English accent. How about
Okay.
that?
Oh, I'm good with that.
We'll get people to listen to us over there just to listen to me do that.
Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We are really, really excited to get into this book for numerous reasons.
Numerous. All the numbers.
All of them, all the things, in fact.
Yeah.
See, podcast muscle
We did
is
it.
ready.
We did it.
We've had a lot of people reach out to us and like check in. We love you guys. We've had a lot of people reach out to us and ask when the next stuff is like gonna come out. Surprise! It's here.
Woo!
Spirit fingers. Did you get the confetti?
It was sent your
We'll
way.
have to get the
Yeah.
confetti. Anyways. But yeah, so and we've had a lot of stuff going on through our Patreon on Discord. We have had listeners reach out and create a space for everybody to hang out and talk about each episode. This is going to be the place where we host our live episodes. This is going to be the place where we start different discussions. This is going to be the place where you can leave comments that we see and read on air. It's a wonderful fucking thing. And you can get access to it by joining our Patreon. It's gonna be awesome. So cool. The coolest. I'm sorry. I'm the tech nerd, so I was delving into all this Discord stuff, and Jade was like, okay. Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay. And I'm like,
I've been busy.
she's seen it now. We also have a map where we can keep track of characters and then post the updates as to where they are after each episode. It's going to be a really awesome thing. We are kicking off hard this year, and we are fucking excited.
So, if you have anything that you want to let us know or contribute in any way, we would love to hear from you. You can get a hold of us at podcastatt@gmail.com. You can also find us over on our Patreon at podcastatt. We are on all the socials, also at podcastatt. And we just love hearing from you wherever you give us your nugget.
Give us your nugget.
Yeah, of inspiration. or
Your nugget
whatever.
of truth.
Yeah, there you go. That'll be our new little thing for.
Our new bit.
Yeah.
What's your nugget of truth? I like it.
I do too.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you real soon.
Bye. Oi, mate. You got some crumpets.
We got it.
Yeah.